I'm sure you've seen surfing before, and I'm sure you've learned a little bit about what surfers go through when they are struggling with the waves. They say everything is timing. Is that true? Is everything is timing? I don't know if it's very true. Not everything is timing. Sometimes it's intuition, but definitely time is very important. And the reason I chose the surfing, because if you want to tackle these waves, you have to have a good timing to do that.
Timing your pop-up will set you up for the whole wave. If you stand up too soon, you'll get left behind the wave. If you stand up too late at the bottom of the wave, you'll nosedive or you'll get sucked over and get smashed. You'll also lose all your speed if you stand up at the bottom and you won't beat the section. So stand up sooner like this guy, get your speed, beat that section. When you feel the tail lift up and the nose start going down, that's the best time to stand up. So you'll feel the tail lift, nose go down, you keep your speed, and then you can surf.
It's not easy to do surfing, right? There is a right timing when you have to choose an entry to the surfing, and you have to also keep that timing because you need to swirl around or turn around, and you need to exit in the right timing. So all of these timings, nobody can coach you on the spot. Like, the coach will never be able to go on the wave with you on the same surf. They will have to teach you this ahead of time. You will have to experiment with them, then you'll have to fall, you'll have to make mistakes, and they'll have to watch you, like take a picture of you or a video, and then tell you exactly what you did wrong, and you go back and forth. And this is very similar to learning how to coach, because when you are coaching a team, the instructor, if you're in my program, will never be able to tell you in the middle that you did wrong or you did right. They let you do everything, and then you'll come back and re-evaluate everything. And the entry point and the exit point, and when do you ask questions, and what do you tell the team, nobody can tell you this. No matter how much you learn, you will have to make some mistakes, you will have to fall, and you'll have to get up. And this is why people keep falling in surfing. It's normal. You'll fall 100 times before you can get it one time right. And once you get it right and you can keep yourself on the wave, hey, you've done it. And when you've done it, you will be proud of yourself for doing it. This is very similar to team coaching. Team coaching does have predictable timing for coaching the team, and there are unpredictable times for the intervention. Sometimes you will know when to intervene because you've planned it, because you know this is the right thing to do, which I will teach you today. And there are other times when you have to follow your intuition. What does your heart tell you in the moment? Is this a good point to enter or not? Is this a good point to speak or not? And according to research that has been going on for the last 70 years on teams, the timings that are predictable are there. So today I will tell you exactly what are the timings. But you must wait for the swell. And what does a swell means in surfing? It means that there is a buildup of waves that's coming from the distance, and you have to watch the distance. You have to keep your eye, and you have to observe not just one point, but you have to scan the environment constantly so that you can watch for the swell and the swell that comes after it, and then decide which swell you want to go on. In team coaching, there is also swells. All of you probably know Bruce Tuckman 1968 model for teams. You know that teams form, so there is a forming stage. You know that there is storming stage where teams are not sure what to do with themselves, and there's a lot of discussions on who does what and how we do this. And you know that there is a norming stage when they've agreed on the goals and that they're ready to work. And there is also performing, where they start actually producing results. And at the end of the team cycle, there is a journey. But really, is that all to team cycle? Unfortunately, this model is very old. and there is a lot of critique in the literature, the studies and research on team leadership about how productive or how effective this model is. Laura Hauser, 2012, has published her PhD, and she has intervened into the cycle of the team in a way that really helps team coaches to understand their roles in contrast with what is happening in the team cycle. Ruth Wagaman, this is my teacher and my instructor from Harvard. In 2009, she published a paper on coaching teams in the right moment or in the right time. And she has also predicted specific swells, let's say wave swells, where the coach will be very effectively intervening. And she said there is 4 points. Interventions that happen in a life cycle. The first intervention is before the team even exists, which is the design. So a coach intervenes here with the leader so that they can set up the team in the right, correct way. And if there is no coach, the leader is aware of it, he does it himself. And at the initial launch, لحظة الانطلاق, when the team is launched and the first meeting happens, the leader and the coach, they collaborate together to make it the best moment in the team's life. This is where you propel the team, where you supply energy, where you support them in understanding and communicating with each other. And it's very, very crucial. The third intervention point is the calendar midpoint, or how they call it. It's in the middle of the project. So the team is working to achieve the purpose, and somehow in the middle, they need to be supported so that they are aware of what is happening in the team, so that they are aware of themselves in the interaction, so that they can evaluate the product they are working on, the project they are trying to achieve, the purpose. It's like a midpoint evaluation point where the coach intervenes to reassess what's happening and redefault the team into the original initial start. And then the best moment of intervention, the fourth one, is at the end of the performance period, because the team is receptive to reflecting on the learning from the experience they have had together. Whether the team is continuing or beginning another cycle, it doesn't matter. These cycles are all predictable, and a coach should always bear in mind that they exist. Before the team exists, a coach is very directive, advisory, instructional role. He's a professor. He'll help the leader understand the research, understand how to design a team. He probably helps the team itself. If it's already an existing team, he will give some guidelines, he will consult, he will show them some models. He will ask questions of them to think about this or that, okay? He will set the norms for the team. So he's very instructional in this role. And at the initial launch, he is more of a facilitator to help them speak their thoughts, emotions, and communicate their values. And then at the calendar midpoint, he's more of a catalyst. A catalyst is, in chemistry, it helps the transformation of the team. So it's more of a reflective point of view, more of a learning, but it's not very emphasized. It's non-directive at all. And then there is the end of the performance period when he becomes an assimilator. So he's kind of pulled out of the process and just looking with his spectacles, trying to spot needed intervention because the team is coaching itself. And that's the end of it, of this cycle.